Yo, 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 you know what it is. It's your boy Snow, man. 3 points, baby. You know what it is. Conversion. Let's get it.
Everybody there?
Hey, JB.
Mike,
Thanks
is that
for.
too much light in the background?
How do the TV cameras feel? Too much light?
Yeah,
Too
if you can
much
close
light.
the shades.
Shades, Vegas sun,
Just a smidge, yeah.
just a smidge. Yes, sir. Whatever.
Future's
Mike.
so bright he needs shades.
Nice view, coach. Like it.
Vegas, baby.
Oh, come on. Motorized. All right. You just can't hide money.
Jeez.
Mike, is that Mike? Everybody, Mike.
Anything for Solarte is what we say here,
Solarte,
JB. You
just
know
keep
that.
Solarte happy.
I wasn't the first one to say it was too bright. I just want that known for the record.
It was me. I'll take blame.
Nice. Well, hey, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you taking the time this afternoon to make some time to talk to Coach. I'll turn it over to him, and then after he's done with his opening statements, we will certainly take questions. And as everyone knows, please use the raise hand function, and we'll call on you. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to JB.
Thanks, Mike. I'm trying to get here. Yeah, it's obviously an exciting week for me and my family, and I want to first thank Michael, Curtis, Mitch, and Buzz for their continued support and belief in me and our program and what we're building here. And I got to say thank you to my staff, because obviously they're a major part of this, and we're all in this together. So it's been an exciting time for all of us. I believe in this program. I believe in this organization. I want to be a part of this city. And I'm very thankful for this opportunity to continue to lead this group and these men and keep building this thing and keep moving this thing forward. And I think we're in a great place. I absolutely love and am thrilled to get going here with this young group again. So my family and I are thankful, and that's the biggest thing right now. So secondly, I want to say thank you to a few of our players that have moved on. Obviously, this is the tough part of the business. And Devontae, Malik, Caleb Martin, Biz, and Cody Zeller, obviously, were tremendous pillars of our organization. They obviously helped us get to this point today. We got a lot of work to do, but I want to thank them because they gave me and our group everything they had every single day. They were pros, and they pushed us forward, and I wish them well. They're going to do great things throughout this league. So we move forward, they move forward, but I want to make sure we say thank you to them as well as we head into next season. So Mike, I'll take any questions, but I'm extremely excited. I'm pumped. I'm thrilled in what I see in this young group here in Vegas. We've had a number of our guys here working out in Vegas. Melo, Miles, Jalen, Terry's been out here. This group is extremely connected right now. There's real belief. There's a real hunger here. And so we got a lot of work to do, but I love where we're at, and the future is extremely bright here.
Thanks, JB. We will start with Rod Boone.
Hey, JB, you mentioned being excited to be able to be here for years to come. Just how much do you think this helps you out to help build the program? Coming from San Antonio, it takes time. So bringing that to the Hornets, how does this give you time perhaps to maybe do what you want to do in Charlotte?
I think the best organizations, Rod, and I was a part of one of them, the number one trait that stands out to me is continuity and consistency. To see growth and development in any organization or program, continuity and consistency is the biggest thing. And especially when you're dealing with young men, young players that are developing right before our eyes. This is a very young team, and we just got a lot younger. But I think it's extremely important for players like Melo and these young players around him that we stay consistent. The message is the same. The system is the same. The terminology is the same. And I believe that gives us a chance. Doesn't mean, it sets us up for absolute success where we want to go, but it gives us a great chance. And That's what I'm most excited about, that I could get that security, that continuity again to build this group and keep growing this group. And I think the number one thing is I have that support from ownership on down to continue to lead this group. There's buy-in, there's belief, there's commitment. I think when our players and our fans see that, that only allows us to continue to grow and build at the rate that we're building at. So I thought this was a huge move for our organization, for me as well, and for our players.
And then now that we can talk to you about Mason Plumlee officially, one of the things you guys wanted to do was to upgrade the position at center. How do you feel the addition of Mason will help you guys there?
I've been a big fan of his for a while. You know, before he hit free agency, what was that? Before he went to Detroit, he was someone we liked. There's a lot of value. His skill set fits what we're going to try to do here. Obviously, his playmaking ability, he can handle at the top of the floor, at the elbow. He's a playmaker. The more playmakers on the floor for us, the better. As you know, those of you that are following our team, as you have the last couple of years, we've added to our playmaking. Obviously, we're going to miss that. You know, Devontae, I think, was a playmaker for us, Malik. But adding that out of that 5 position with Mason, I think is going to be tremendous for our group. He's a willing passer. He's a smart player. He's won in this league. Obviously, he's got good presence down there. He can rebound at a high level. So I think he fits our program. He fits our culture. I love his leadership qualities, his winning qualities, the DNA he brings with him here. So I know he's excited. We're excited to have him. And I know he fits what we're going to try to do here around that 5 position.
Sam Perley.
Hey, JB, congrats again on the extension. I know when we talked after the draft, you said you had not seen some of these young guys, first rounders, up close in person. You've been out there for a couple of days in Vegas. Just what are your initial impressions? I know it's only been a couple games of James and Kai and what you've seen on the court and how they can kind of fit into your system over the next couple months heading into training camp.
Well, you know, as you look at our roster, we're built, you know, with a lot of athleticism and length right now. And I think, you know, Book and Kai fit that. JT Thor fits that as well. I mean, we're building a very versatile, long, athletic group, and Book fits that. He can score. He can get, you know, his own shot, which you need in this league. You know, we've lost a little bit of that in Devontae and Malik. I think Book's going to fill up a lot of those opportunities there. You know, wherever we play him, whatever minutes he earns, you know, he has that ability. So I like what I've seen out of him. I think he's got two-way ability the more I watch him. And, you know, this is a young man that's just, you know, trying to figure it out. So every day I learn about him, he learns about us. I like what I see in him. Kai gives us great, obviously, versatility defensively, his length, his size, his athleticism. I think the number one thing he does right now is he runs the floor at an elite level. He can run with our young guys. You know, I think until you see him out there with Melo and this, you know, the entire group, we won't have a true sense of what he could be for our program. Obviously, he's working through our summer league right now and trying to figure it out along the way. But he's a tremendous athlete. He can run the floor. He gives us a vertical threat offensively and defensively. So I think he's someone, you know, I'm sure we're going to get asked the question, what position is he? Look, we'll figure it out with him. I think there's some opportunities there for him to play the 5 position with PJ, with Miles. You know, he has that sort of ability. How quickly he picks up the league and our system, you know, time will tell. We just don't know that yet. I have not seen Thor as much as I'd like. You know, we just got our hands on him the last few days. So I'm excited, you know, to work with him. He's a great kid. I think he's going to fit our work ethic, our development program. I love the talent that Mitch and the entire group, you know, has brought onto this roster. So I think they fit what we're trying to do.
Thank you.
Nick Carboni.
Hey, JB, congratulations. Wonder what you think the logical next step or piece of LaMelo Ball's development is after such, you know, a great and well-rounded rookie season. And Mitch mentioned to us yesterday, you know, he kind of went out of his way to say we want him to focus on the passing still. Do you think there's a pressure with all the accolades that he might feel pressure to try and carry the team offensively, maybe too much or more than you guys want him to?
Well, there's obviously, I think the biggest challenge for us as we head into next year offensively is, the balance of the shots that are taken. I think obviously there's only one ball to go around, and we got a tremendous talent here offensively. And Melo's, a lot of it starts with Melo. You got Terry, you got Gordon. We've added Oubre. Book has that potential. And then Miles and PJ are capable playmakers that have only gotten better. Their usage has gone up. So I think for Melo, it's really managing the game is going to be his challenge. His instinct's there. He's getting stronger. I think time and score, situational pieces of the game that equals winning is probably his next logical step. How does he manage this group? How do I get Gordon a shot? How do I get Terry a shot? Seeing the game through their eyes, through their lens, becoming a coach, an extension of me on the floor. We've really spent a lot of time this summer on sort of that connection, that bridge between he and I. He's got to understand, his teammates, what we need. Obviously, he has great instinct. I'm not going to take that away. That is his strength. He plays off pure instinct, and that's tough to teach. Now it's about managing the game, managing this roster, managing these players around him. But these players, Nick, they have great respect for him and trust in him. And now it's all of us just getting on the same page, and that's just going to come over time. But I believe we've taken a major step this summer, working through that and talking through that. We've been around each other all summer. To his credit, he's been in Charlotte the entire summer. He's around his teammates. So I think, for us, it's just that comfort level. He's going to have to get to know Kelly as well. Obviously, Mason, Ish, and all these young guys. So we're a work in progress, but Melo he gets it. He understands the responsibility that comes with being a point guard in this league. And if we want to win, how does he manage that? So, but he's showing great strides so far this summer.
Jonathan?
Hey, JB. Hope you're well. I'm curious, what do you want to see, I guess, from, PJ is entering year 3. What do you want to see from him as he tries to take the next step to improve?
I think for PJ, it's consistency. We've all seen how good he can be on certain nights. I think now the next step for him, and I think you saw this in Miles Bridges last year, he became a more consistent player as that season went along. And I expect PJ to take that next step and, night in, night out, be accountable, be someone that we can rely on night in and night out. And he's ready to take that next step. I think a lot of us had those same questions about Miles going into last season. And I think Miles obviously has turned the corner. He's become more of a professional at a higher level. His work ethic has always been there, but the game has really slowed down for him. But I think the biggest thing with Miles has been consistency. And I expect PJ to have the same approach this year, to dig in, be counted on night in, night out. We need that from him. And I think this roster says that. If PJ takes that next step, this can be a very special team.
What about his skill set in particular do y'all really need the most?
Well, from an offensive standpoint, I think the finishing at the rim is going to be important for us. I think if you look at his numbers, his growth opportunity right now is going to be right at the rim. He can become a better player, finisher at the rim. And he has the ability. I think we've all seen it. He has the touch. He has the feel down there. He just got to go finish at a higher level. He gets it. He understands it. Obviously, this floor is going to be opened up even more this year with our roster. So he's going to have opportunities at the rim, especially at that 5 position that we saw last year. He's going to be rolling to the rim, diving to the rim, playing around the basket. And then the more consistency from the 3-point line. I think he's, let's see more of the consistency shooting the ball, which he's worked on at a high level this summer. But the finishing at the rim is going to be really important for us as we head into next season.
Christian?
JB, congrats again, man. Ish Smith yesterday said that he was ready to lead this second team for you guys. Do you believe that's going to be his role? And have you had any talks with him since he signed here with his hometown Charlotte Hornets?
Well, I'm thrilled to have Ish. I mean, I'm very excited. I think he's great for our locker room, for our young group, but I also think he fits our our style of play. You know, he's a pace guy. He's one of the best in the league. When we go into scouting certain teams, you got to look at Ish, you got to look at TJ McConnell. These guys are instant, fast break point guards, and he fits what we're trying to do stylistically. So I do think he can anchor that second unit. He gives us poise. He allows that second unit an opportunity to keep the pace where we need it to. So I think he's a tremendous fit from a leadership standpoint, but also a stylistic standpoint. He's someone we've always valued. I've always valued. I've been around Ish a little bit in my career. I have great respect for him. So I think he's gonna be great in the locker room, but also on the floor for us. He's gonna help Melo, and I think Melo will help him. I'm gonna put a lot of the leadership in that second unit on Ish's shoulders, and he's capable of handling it.
Real quick, also, you've been with Dutch Gately for a minute now. He was with you in San Antonio as well, I believe. He's leading the summer league team. How do you feel he's doing so far as a head coach, and do you see a future for him somewhere in the NBA as a future head coach?
Well, it always starts in summer league. It always starts there. So you got to get your feet wet somewhere. I loved coaching summer league when I was an assistant. I think I did it 4 or 5 times, maybe, in my assistant career. And I felt like every year I got those touches and those reps, I got better. And I think Dutch is filling that out now. I think he's done a great job with these young guys. He's got great respect, in our coaching staff, in our organization. So I think he's done a great job. It's just more about the reps now. And, I keep asking him every day how it feels, and he's getting a taste of what it's like, the amount of decisions you have to make. And it's a different world when you move over one chair, but I think he's doing a great job.
Appreciate it, JB.
Will?
Hey, JB. How have your conversations changed with free agents this year compared to like 3 years ago, and what you're selling or based on what you've accomplished now?
Well, I think now we have a blueprint out there. We have, these guys know what we're like. We have an identity as a team now. Well, and I don't have to sell them much. I do my sales pitch. I give them my vision, my thoughts, my beliefs, and how they fit our system. But I think they're already excited before we even make the call. They understand what we're trying to do here. These are very observant players that we're talking to. They know the league. They were more excited, on the calls at times than I was. They really see a fit here. So, and we just, now doing this for 3 years, there's an identity there, and it's easier to identify. Now, 2-3 years ago, I could tell them what I thought it would look like, and maybe it could look like this. Now, after 3 years, players know what we are and what we look like, and there's an excitement about that. These conversations are different. They see themselves fitting here. It's not so much of a sales pitch. They say, I can fit that role. I know I can fit in your system, and here's how I fit. Obviously, I share my thoughts with them as well. So, I think Kelly's one of these guys that, if we fit each other, and he feels like it's a tremendous fit. Ish, same thing. Obviously, Mason was a trade, but these conversations do feel different. I think there's an excitement about this group throughout the league. I'm here in Vegas, and everywhere I turn, I'm hit with somebody that just loves watching this team play. There's a real excitement. People love watching our group compete. They say, number one, you guys compete and you share the ball and you're a fun style of basketball. And I think the players throughout the league feel the same way, whether they're free agents or not. We're getting a tremendous amount of feedback on that. So I'm thrilled for our guys. Our players deserve all the credit. They deserve a ton of credit. Obviously, our coaching staff has put their imprint on this organization as well. But, I know these players are excited to be here.
And then real quick, when you see LaMelo, does he chirp your ear off more about LiAngelo or getting number 1? What does he say?
Oh, gosh. Geez. Where do I start? Definitely the number.
What does he say to you? Does he say, you got to do something about this, or what?
I say, I don't make those calls. That's above me. So he's going to have to go somewhere else for that. I'll talk to him about, his practice and his growth and Jello and the team and the summer league team, I've got nothing on that end. That's I got no juice for that, Will. So it'll work itself out.
Thanks, JB.
Mike Solarte.
Thanks, Mike. Congratulations, JB. Good to have you around for multiple more years.
Like no ketchup on hot dogs.
Correct. Very good. You're
Mustard.
learning. As
Mustard.
you said in your opening statement about thanking the veterans that have moved on, and and the team's replaced a lot of those guys with obviously new players and guys with experience. Some are younger, but are these veteran voices? Do they have the same message? Do they have a different message, do you think? I mean, how does this group kind of come in now and blend with the young guys that you have and obviously become as establishing as the core of this team?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. I don't think that's been resolved yet. It's just going to come over time. This is going to be a new group together for the first time. Obviously, we've never had Mason around and Ish around and Kelly around. Their voice is going to be important in this group. How they fit into our leadership situation here, time will tell. But I want those guys to have a voice, to step up in their leadership role. Obviously, Gordon's a piece of that here. Terry's a big piece of that. Miles is a big piece of that. But I expect those veterans that are coming in to join the leadership council here and be a part of that. How that fits together, I just don't know yet. We're just not there yet. I think I'm excited about the potential for that, though, and what those guys bring to the table. I think all three have leadership ability, and we're going to need that. I want Ish to step up, Kelly to step up, Mason to step up into some leadership roles. One of the things that's got us through these last couple of years in our growth and our development has been the leadership of that locker room. And again, that's why I was very thankful to Biz, Cody, Devontae, especially in taking that leadership role, because we wouldn't be here today without that. You've got to have internal leadership, and that comes through veterans most times. And right now I feel very comfortable with our locker room and the leadership potential that we have this season. So I think we're in a good place there.
Just quickly as a follow-up, just from a rules standpoint, Dutch running the summer league team, you're out there obviously kind of watching. Do league rules prevent you from working with guys at this point? Has it got to be Dutch and you can only communicate with Dutch? Or I mean, how's that operating?
No, I have the ability to step in and talk and communicate. Obviously I'm letting him do his thing with this team and take on that role as head coach. But I get my say in. I was at practice today and I spent some time with a few of our roster players and gave them feedback. I can watch film with them, but I'm doing it more from afar right now. But today was a good day for me to get in the gym with them. Mike, I spent a lot of time with our roster guys this week. Having Melo out here, Terry, Jalen, PJ, and Miles. We spent a lot of time together, had some good meals together. So we continue. I love being around these guys. They're a great group to be around. And I'm thankful that they're here to support these young guys and be a part of it. As you look throughout this league, not every team's doing this. I'm thankful for this organization, these young men that have invested in what we're doing here.
Great, thank you.
Steve?
JB, congrats on the extension. And
thanks, Steve.
Exactly sure what all this no ketchup nonsense is, but anyway, hey, I want to ask you a bigger picture story. It seems like over the last few years, you guys have, one of the things you keep talking about is length. You guys seems to have made a conscious effort to get bigger, longer. I mean, did you feel like when you look back at this roster a few years ago, was that something that you and Mitch really felt like needed to change for this organization to take that next step?
Yeah, Steve, it's something we've eyed through the last couple of years. It's something that we've identified as an area we wanted to address. We've been pretty small throughout the last couple of years, even going back to the first year. We've lacked size and versatility. We continue to add it though, through the draft and now through some in free agency. And if you look at the league, the teams, to me, the profile of the teams that are having the most success right now are they're versatile, they're long, they're athletic, and they're skilled. And we're trying to identify all those. And, you know, it's tough to, you know, you can't turn a skilled player into a lengthy player or a bigger player, but you can, you know, take a more athletic, longer kid and add skill to them. And I think we're doing that here as an organization. There's a couple of these kids that they're raw, you know, 18, 19-year-old, but great bodies, length, size, athleticism, coachable. Now it's our job to really imprint and put our stamp on them as far as their skill level and their development. And we're committed to it, Steve. As you know, we're committed to the G League. We're committed to our development program. Our coaches do a tremendous job developing these young men, but you've got to have the size and length and athleticism to do that and what we're trying to, you know, build here. So it's been a conscious effort. And, you know, I think Mitch has done a good job of adding that talent to this group.
James?
Hey, JB, just echo everyone else's comments. Great to have you for another good set of years here. Just wanted to touch on kind of a little bit of reflection, really. Last summer, you couldn't have anyone in the gym at all. Now you've been able to have people throughout the summer. I guess, how excited are you about being able to have people back in the gym? You've said a number of times it's the lifeblood of the organization. And have you been able to see some of that player development piece being a little bit more connected this offseason rather than last year?
Yeah, we were very disconnected last year. It was very choppy development. We did our best, you know. This feels a little bit more, you know, it's a little more normal right now. We get our hands on these guys, you know, they're in the gym, and this is what we are. This is what we have to be and build this thing internally. That's how we've taken steps the last few years, is through internal development. Obviously, we've become a more attractive destination to free agents. That's a positive, but the lifeblood, as you said, is internal development. And last year was choppy in that area. It just was, you know, we didn't get our hands on Vern and Nick as much as we'd like, and all our players, you know, but this feels more normal to us, and we've gotten after it this summer. Still got 6-7 weeks before we hit training camp. So we got some more work to do, but it feels better just to be in the gym, with my guys this week, you know, here in Vegas. And really all of the summer they've been in Charlotte. So we've had a great gym. And now, you know, we get to see more of the fruits of our labor this summer than we did last year. Last year, we were just learning on the fly, you know, with Melo and all the young guys. This year feels like we got a better foundation on what we're trying to do heading into the season.
And just a quick one, Dutch Gately got booed. You probably heard when he took Jello out
booed.
the first game.
You got booed?
He did. Firstly,
was I doing that? I don't know.
That's what I was going to ask.
That wasn't me, was it?
Were you joining him with that?
Well, that wasn't me. That wasn't me.
Okay, thank you.
Zach?
Hey, JB, like everyone said, congrats on the extension and sticking around here longer in Charlotte. What you kind of touched on the excitement all around that you were feeling about in the league with the Hornets going into the future now. What are maybe the expectations and how are they different going into this season now that you guys got a taste of being so close to the playoffs? And when you compare that to a few years ago when Mitch kind of talked about not wanting you to be so upset after each loss, but now that hopefully more wins are coming than losses, what's that difference now?
Well, you know, for me, every year it's been about growth and development, taking the next step. You know, we've done that the last few years. The expectation for me is to take the next step. You know, obviously we were on the doorstep of the playoffs. We can get into the reasons why and, you know, why and why not. That didn't happen. I'm not here today to get into that. We move forward, we move ahead. But, you know, obviously we took a step last year. Nobody expected that. Through all the injuries, nobody expected that. But now we got to take a step forward. I expect our group to take that next step, be more competitive throughout the 82-game season. And it starts with our internal development. I like the talent we've added. I like the group. There's more corporate knowledge. That's something I think that's extremely important to me in, you know, as we look at this extension and, you know, having more time to build and grow this group. One of the things that we valued in San Antonio as an example was corporate knowledge, that these guys know the system at a higher level going into next year. We're not starting over. We're not building, from the ground up. There's 3 years here of foundation built. Now we got to add to that, going into next season, and we should see, that growth in year 4 as well. So where that puts us, I don't know. We want to take a step forward. Obviously we have the playoffs at our forefront. Our guys know what they want. There's expectations there. There's belief there. There's hunger there for this. And now we got to go make it happen. So, but there's a lot of things that go into that. You got to be healthy. You got to get better. Things have to break your way, but we have an opportunity to be a better ball club next season. So I'm thrilled for that.
Are those talks that you have with the team? Okay, expectations, we want to make the playoffs now, we've been here, or is it the belief of if everyone buys into the program and they buy into the player development and everything you're preaching, that becomes a byproduct of it?
Yeah, it's more the latter there. I think it's a good question. As long as we take care of what we need to take care of this offseason and heading into next year, if everybody's bought in, the wins and the standings will take care of themselves. Last year we were right there. Things didn't break our way for a number of reasons, but we got to control what we can control. And if we do that, the rest will take care of itself. I'm not going to put it out there every day. We are a playoff team, and this game is about, making the playoffs. That doesn't work. If you get better every single day, you come into the gym to work. If everybody's bought into their role and they're committed to that and they're committed to one another, the standings will take care of themselves.
Sam Farber.
Hey, JB, congratulations. You mentioned you got a lot of young roster guys here, most of whom are getting their first taste of summer league action. Dutch talked earlier in the week about how, what you're looking for in terms of making a contribution this year is not necessarily going for 20 a game out here in Las Vegas. What are some of the things you're looking for from the young roster players, and who have you seen it from so far?
Yeah, I think, for me, it's more about the identity right now. I'm learning about them, as much as they're learning about this league and our system. This is the first time we've had our hands on them and we're around them. Obviously, we go through a draft process, but there's nothing like them being in your own house and, having them as one of your players. So we're learning about them. To me, what I'm looking for right now is just their competitive spirit, how they pick things up. Are they coachable? Do they play unselfishly? To me, those are the qualities. We're going to teach them the system as they go. They're going to learn that as we go. Number one, I just want to see them fight, want to see them compete, how they pick up, certain actions, certain terminology. And then just their unselfishness. We're a team that's built on playing unselfishly on both sides of the ball. I expect them to play that way, here in Vegas. And for the most part, I've seen that out of this group. I'm excited to see them play and compete tomorrow against San Antonio and take another step in that area.
Richie.
Hey, JB, long time no talk. I asked Dutch this question the other day in terms of how much you guys will miss Ronald and Nate from the coaching staff. And then number two, do you have a timetable on when you want to fill those vacancies on the coaching staff?
Yeah, I'm on it right now. You can put your resume in if you'd like. If you want to jump into there, just, text it to Cristaldi there. No, look, first of all, we're losing two very good coaches. Ron and Nate were big for us, not only at player development in our schemes and our system. They're going to be missed, and I wish them well. They're going to do great things where they're at. Obviously, they stayed in the East, so, we got some work to do there with them, but we're on it right now. It's being here in Vegas, there's a number of coaches here. I'm working through that right now with Mitch. We've identified a number of talented young coaches and veteran coaches that we're looking at. So I believe we'll find the right mixture and the right fit for our group. This coaching staff, as you know, Richie, has been tremendous for me and for all of us, for our players. And I believe we'll find the right mix for our group moving forward.
Thank you.
Yep.
Rod.
JB, just want to ask you about Gordon Hayward real quick. You mentioned players being around this summer. I'm not sure, has he been around working with the guys? And just how much will a full off season with the organization, the way things happened so quickly last year, help you guys out as you prepare to have him back in the fold this upcoming season?
Well, he's obviously a major part of this. We need him healthy to max out who we can be as a team. We need him to be fully healthy. Gordon's been in Charlotte the entire summer. So he's been in our gym. He's been with our coaches. He's been with our medical team, our performance team, our strength team. It's amazing when guys love being in Charlotte, you know, whether it's the city, the program, the organization, all these guys, they love it. They love being around. I'm not having to chase them around the country and worry about that. They love being locked into Charlotte and working here. So Gordon's been one of those guys. We've consistently had 8 to 12 guys probably per week in our gym. And Gordon's one of those. So we need him healthy. He's doing, you know, a number of things right now on the court. And I think we're in a good place with him there. So again, I think it just adds to the corporate knowledge again. He's learning, you know, more about his teammates. They're learning more about him. And I expect him to be ready to go for training camp.
Thanks, JB.
We'll close it out with two last quick ones. We'll start with Danny and then we'll close with Steve.
Coach Danny Thompson with a 3-point conversion. Like everybody else, congratulations on being in Charlotte.
Thank you.
Two quick small ones. Number one, we talked about last year being in a positionless situation with the roster. With adding Kelly and Mason and the draft picks, do you feel like this is more of a roster that kind of suits what the team needs in your philosophy? And two, you touched on how much last year affected you personally. Did this time off give you all the ability to reset yourself, and do you feel more energized going into the season?
Well, you know, I'll answer the second one. I feel more energized. I just love this group. I love being around them. I love the potential of this group. I think we've added, you know, talent. We've addressed certain areas. I think all three of those additions fit what we needed and what we're looking for. Obviously, there were other guys that we were looking at as well, and it could have fallen a different way. But adding Ish, Kelly, and Mason to this group, I do believe pushes us forward. I do think that's a win for us as we head into next season. So I feel energized. Yeah, I didn't get a lot of, you know, downtime. I enjoyed some time with my family, got away a little bit, but it goes quick. I mean, it's a quick turnaround. It feels like we were, you know, just playing that final game not too long ago, and we get right into it. It's a very condensed schedule. So it's not your typical off season, but I did get some time away, and I'll be ready to go. My batteries are ready to go. I'm excited about this group. I love coaching them. I love being in the gym with them. I love this job. I love this city. I love this organization, and I'm thrilled to keep, you know, to have the opportunity to continue to grow this group. And yeah, I couldn't be more excited about what we have ahead and the season coming up.
JB, I want to ask you one thing about Melo.
Sure.
I don't know what he can do on the floor, but how much are you guys going to be able to use him as and I guess, lack of a better word, a recruiting tool as you go forward? Because it sure seems like guys love to play with him, the way he distributes the ball, unselfish player. I mean, how much can you almost like sell him when you're talking to other guys as you move forward, trying to build this team?
Yeah, I think it's a great point. I think he is a sale. I mean, his game speaks for itself. These guys watch him. These players are all watching each other. They're identifying places they'd like to go before teams are even interested. And Melo's one of those guys that is contagious. He's infectious, just like our players. They love playing with him. He just got this infectious spirit about him, an unselfishness, an energy, and players want to play with that. They want to be around that. And that is probably one of the best recruiting pitches any of us can have, is just, you know, watching Melo on a night-to-night basis. And it's genuine. And I think that's when players know it's real. If you're around him, you get to know him, you watch him. This is a genuinely lovely kid that loves the game. He's got great spirit about him, very unselfish. So I think it's obviously these players want to play with that, and he's one of those guys that they're identifying right now.
Thank you.
Thanks, JB. Thanks everyone for your time. Appreciate it very much.
Thanks, everybody. See you soon.